Today's theme will be the melting of the heart. Melting of the heart actually sounds like it could be a bad thing. And actually maybe the feeling, you may actually even feel this theme will be the melting. All kinds of seeming like unpleasant experiences. But, there's a famous Western axiom. They say, it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. You've heard this before? Yes. It's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. So this is an example of how the heart can only melt or break, you could say, when one has experienced love and then lost it, than to have never experienced that in the first place. So this is kind of the theme here, but the love is on a much different platform than the worldly love that we consider so wonderful, that even the animal species have. This type of love is far greater, far more lasting. So without further ado, we will chant the prayers to the gurus. So Radha Krishna Vadan Sagana Lalita Shrinisha Namitamscha He Krishna Karana Sindho Dina Bandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwavani Sute Kalpaturudishcha Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitam Pavanebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare So Srimad Bhagavatam is coming. Maybe we'll go to like 9:10, but not too much longer because we have a busy day today. All right. So last time we were talking about yesterday, it was a rhetorical question. It said, the intelligent have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become freed from bad materialistic association, can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation? For they had been intimately associated with his person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, and sleeping, sitting, and dining with him. This is actually a very famous verse of the Bhagavatam that we did yesterday. I didn't really get to glorify this verse. But, the point is made that once you've had association of the Lord and with pure devotees, you're going to be freed. If you're sincere, the more you associate in this way, you will be freed. You will be repelled by bad materialistic association. Especially, you won't want to be bad materialistic association anymore. And at the same time, you're going to get a taste. You'll just want to hear the glories of the Lord. The Lord's pastimes become so attractive that that's what you'll want to hear instead of the phone. Right? Oh, you're getting it on there. You're very sincere. Very good. I have to check nowadays because this generation is, everything is, oh, I got to text my friend real quick. No problem. So, if you want, I could even zoom in. But anyhow, this, now, so there, all of the relatives, it was impossible for them to bear the separation from Lord Krishna. Why? Because they had association of Krishna, a deep association with him. And you can not only but appreciate the magnificence of the Lord. He's just the greatest in every aspect. And once you taste the Lord, what else is there left to taste, actually? There's nothing else. There's nothing else in this world left to taste. So, our relatives may get mad at us. Oh, why are you giving up this endeavor, that endeavor, this endeavor, and so on? It's like, no, we just have something really good that we're associating with. We're not interested, and that's not important anymore. And interestingly enough, I kind of decided I was going to renounce such a life of, I wasn't going to get any houses and this, that, and the other thing. And somehow or other, interestingly enough, all those things, I need them for the Lord's service. But I would have never been inspired to do these things. But I'm taking up these responsibilities I never, ever wanted to do. Ultimately, because this is the Lord's service and at least what I've been called to do. But anyhow, now Krishna is leaving, and now they're very upset. Let's read. Sarveti nimisher akshais. It's on the screen if you want to look. Tamanu druta chetasaha. Vikshanta sneha sambadha. Vichelus tatra tatraha. Sarve, all, te, they, animishai, without twinkling of the eyes, akshai, by the eye, tamanu, after him, druta chetasaha, melted heart, vikshanta, looking upon him, sneha sambadha, bound by pure affection, vichelu, began to move, tatra tatra, here and there, ha, so they did. Translation: all their hearts were melting for him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes, and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Did you ever just get overwhelmed in life? Like something overwhelmed you, and you're just moving around in perplexity, and everyone's asking, what are you doing? And this, sometimes it happens to me, and my wife notices and starts chastising me, will you pay attention? And you're just so overwhelmed by the scenario that you're just confused. So there were, by Krishna leaving, their hearts were so melted and they're so overwhelmed that they couldn't blink. They weren't blinking their eyes, and they're moving around here and there in complete confusion. So this is actually a symptom. This is mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion, which is a translation of Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which are all the symptoms that arise when one actually has separation from the Lord. One, you gain meeting of the Lord, because you can't have separation without first meeting the Lord. You gain meeting of the Lord, and then in that separated stage, these really advanced stages of affection arise. So Prabhupada says Krishna is naturally attractive for all living beings because he is the chief, eternal amongst all eternals. He alone is the maintainer of the many eternals. This is stated in the Katha Upanishad, and thus one can attain permanent peace and prosperity by revival of one's eternal relation with him. now forgotten under the spell of Maya, the illusory energy of the Lord. Once this relation is slightly revived, the conditioned soul at once becomes freed from the illusion of material energy and becomes mad after the association of the Lord. This association is made possible not only by personal contact with the Lord, but also by association with His name, fame, form, and quality. Srimad Bhagavatam trains the conditioned soul to this stage of perfection by submissive hearing from the pure devotee. So this little paragraph just gave us such a concise explanation of our process, our problem, that we all are attracted naturally to the Lord. Why? Because He is the ultimate eternal. He's the ultimate thing of existence. He's the maintainer of all of us, actually. So naturally, we're attracted to the Lord. We should be. And one can obtain permanent peace and prosperity just by revival of our relationship with the Lord. And the only reason the relationship is not happening right now is just because we've forgotten. We just kind of got so overwhelmed by the illusions of this world that we forgot what's the actual point, what's the actual reality happening here. We're related to the Lord. And it's our only, wholly and solely our only duty to establish that relationship. That's the only point of life. But we get so lost up. Well, I've got the family duties, I've got work, I've got school assignments, I've got this, that, and the other thing. And we busy ourselves, busy, and then we forget. You relate, Parth? Yes. But I'm sure we can all relate. We get so busy with our material activities that we forget what is the whole point. It's to have our relationship with the Lord. And it's now forgotten under the spell of Maya, or the illusory energy of the Lord. Once this relation is slightly revived, the conditioned soul at once becomes freed from the illusion of material energy and becomes mad after the association of the Lord. So even if the relation is just slightly revived, all of a sudden illusion starts dissipating. Like you've probably noticed, if you come and regularly hear Bhagavatam or regularly take in the Krishna's philosophy or associate with the devotees, little by little your illusions just like, oh wait, I am doing that and this and that and this. I'm wasting my life. I'm wasting my time. Has this happened in your life at all? By association with the devotees? Of course. Association with the Bhagavatam, association with Krishna via his teachings. It's natural. You're just like, wow, what the heck am I doing? And then what happens is when enough, even just a little bit of revival of your Krishna consciousness, then what happens is you just become mad after the Lord. You'll realize nothing else matters. Everything else I've been doing is futile. So I have to chase the only thing worth chasing is the Supreme Eternal, the maintainer of all of us. And so we begin our chase unto the Lord. But it's not only by personal contact with the Lord like in here. They had personal relationship with the Lord. How fortunate. But also, Prabhupada's saying, by the association with his name, non-different from the Lord. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's saying, this is the main thing. Give everyone the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. His fame, his glory is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. His glories, that's why people love to hear Leelas and Katha. That's why it's so important. Bhagavat Shravan, this is one of the processes you should do every day. Every day you should hear some type of the Lord's fame. That's what Bhagavat Shravan is. That's why we do this every day. We have one Katha every day. No matter where we are, what we're doing. Okay, we're going to do it in Ithaca today. Oh, we're going to do it in Oswego today. All right, it's going to be the Wednesday night program. So we're giving opportunity for everyone in this area once a day that they can have Bhagavat Shravan. Hear about the fame, the form, what the Lord looks like. This is kind of part of the fame and part of the hearing of the Bhagavatam. And the quality. All these things are found in the Bhagavatam, actually. So this is your ticket. Everyone, we give you the mantra. The mantra is easy. Please, spread the mantra everywhere. And then to get the other aspects that are available to you, come here Bhagavatam, come here Harikatha. Give Harikatha if you can. I've actually made it part of my practice that every day I want to either hear Harikatha or give Harikatha, because you actually will get the same exact benefit. Let's say your wife or your girlfriend is willing to hear Harikatha. Give her Harikatha, and it will strengthen the convictions in you. Actually, yes.
Very interesting that we're talking like this, and surprisingly, so yesterday my wife's very big into the whole politics thing and Trump
Sure.
and all that stuff.
She's normal.
Like a lot of people, and I follow suit to some degree, whatever. But she commented to me that she goes, and because we're working on the house now, we got refi and all that stuff, so a lot going on. And she said it must be nice for you when you go to Mantra Central. You can kind of forget about all that stuff. And that was neat coming from her.
Yeah. Actually, I had a nice conversation with her the other day. She's very good. She's very good. She must be. If she married a devotee and then also gave birth to a nice devotee, she must be very qualified. So yeah, it's natural. She'll just keep associating with you. She'll keep associating with Michael. Eat prasadam. It's natural. She's finished, actually. There's no way she can continue on the material track. It's like when you unplug a fan. It'll still spin for some time. So it'll seem like, those things, but after a while it's slowing down, and she's noticing how appreciable it is to be able to forget about all these, what was normally a whirling whirlwind in most of the people. But even, our parents are drawing different conclusions. It happens. It's just natural, actually. Because actually, why? Because the revival of her relationship with the Lord is coming. She's seeing it happen to her near and dear ones around her. And it's just inevitable for her at some point.
Well, she even asked me about how to properly pronounce the word Chaitanya.
Oh, well, now she's getting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. It's finished. The material life is finished. This is very good. It's amazing that when, this is a Christian teaching. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things shall be added unto you. If you just focus wholly and solely on your Hari Bhajan, like Srivas Thakur, and he was so committed to focus only on that, he said, fine, if the Lord doesn't give me what I need in 3 days, I'll just kill myself. No problem. Now we can't expect to be that, convicted, right? But if we can give a little bit more to the Lord, just a little bit more. I asked Brajesh, you got to come here 3 times a week. I said, and it was kind of hard for him because he's balancing. He's got a lot of work. He's got a lot of things going on. But I was like, you can do it. Come on. And we have the boys there, and they're doing it on their own. I didn't say, call Brajesh. Piyush is calling Brajesh in the morning. Michael's calling Brajesh in the morning.
This is
Brajesh right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yes. So, just like this.
I'm going to start calling.
Yeah, and Craig can call, and Brajesh, you can call Craig on Craig's off days too.
Yeah.
So, but why? Because this is ultimately what's really going to benefit you. And the Lord will maintain everything you give, and He promises this in Bhagavad Gita. Yeya thamam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. He's not an empty promiser. It's not like, oh, you become a devotee of the Lord and you become a pauper or something like that. Actually, my wife's mother, she was chastising Michael the other day, actually. Why? Because, what's it?
If you can increase a little more.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, no problem. So she was chastising Michael the other day. Why? Because she was chastising my wife too. I had to go somewhere. But she was chastising Michael and my wife, and because it's like, do you see the other devotees? They have nice cars, they have nice jobs, they have this, that, and the other thing. She was noticing that all the devotees had prosperity.
She was upset. She heard that Michael was...
And she was upset because now Michael apparently is also going the path of the 2 crazy kids that she's related to, which is us. And doesn't want to, work in the material world and do all these things. So now she's saying, just see. But actually, the Lord, it depends on their needs. The Lord always provides enough needs. I'm shocked that the needs for running the programs and what we want to do, the Lord is fulfilling all of these things. I'm shocked. I don't even know how it's happening. But he's providing everything. So you'll see this. I mean, Srivas Thakur, what a day to talk about this. He's the living, shining example. Where the Lord personally made his brother and said, you take care of them. He's a madman. But this is actually, you can be a madman for the Lord. This is good, actually. And so anyway, let's maybe read one more verse. Nirandan Udgalad Bashpam. Yes. Oh, sorry. Nirandan Go ahead. Nirandan Udgalad Bashpam. Otkantya Devaki Sute. Niryatya Garano Badram. Iti Syad Bandavastriyaha. All right. Okay. Nirandan. Checking with great difficulty. Udgalat. Overflowing. Bashpam. Tears. Otkantya. Because of great anxiety. Devaki Sute. Unto the son of Devaki. Niryati. Having come out. Agarat. From the palace. Na. Not. Abhadram. Inauspiciousness. Iti. Thus. Syat. May happen. Bandava. Relative. Striya. Ladies. The female relatives whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They feared that tears would cause misfortune at the time of departure. Prabhupada is saying, there were hundreds of ladies in the palace of Hastinapur. All of them were affectionate to Krishna. All of them were relatives also. When they saw that Krishna was going away from the palace for his native place, they were very anxious for him. And as usual, tears began to roll down their cheeks. They thought at the same time that tears at that moment might be a cause of misfortune for Krishna. Therefore, they wanted to check them. This was very difficult for them because the tears could not be checked. Therefore, they smeared their tears in their eyes and their hearts throbbed. Therefore, ladies who were the wives and daughters-in-law of those who died in the battlefield never came in direct contact with Krishna. But all of them heard of him and his great activities, and thus they thought of him, talked of him, his name, fame, etc., and became affectionate also, like those who were in direct contact. Therefore, directly or indirectly, anyone who thinks of Krishna, talks of Krishna, or worships Krishna becomes attached to him. Because Krishna is absolute, there is no difference between his name, form, quality, etc. Our intimate relation with Krishna can be confidentially revived by our talking of, hearing of, or remembering him. It is so done due to spiritual potency. So today is really, Prabhupada is really hammering in how important it is associating with anything to do with Krishna. We're all, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great mercy, giving the Maha Mantra. That's we're on the street, we chant the Maha Mantra. We're on the street, we're devotees, we're trying to give the books about Krishna. All these things. So all of you have associated with Krishna. Brajesh, maybe from birth. Have you been associating with Krishna since birth? No, yes. Your family worship Krishna? Yeah, so you've been associating with Krishna since birth. And then it's no surprise that when you come across a place in a difficult time in your life, that you become attracted to Krishna. Michael, same thing, from birth, associating with Krishna through Craig. And Craig had associated with the devotees. And yeah, it takes time. Everyone has their own speed, and everyone has their own little dose of Krishna. Some people get a really, really heavy dose at some point of their life, like the devotees of Prabhupada, who were associating directly with him. Hence, more closely associating with Krishna, because Prabhupada was very dear in associating with Krishna. So that's what it means. Namo Vishvaraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvana Kachayani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashita Desha Tarini. Somewhere in that mantra, and I couldn't pick it out, it's talking about how dear the spiritual master is to Krishna. When we sing our Samsara Dava prayers in the morning, one of the messages is that we worship the Guru because he's dear to Krishna. And when we associate, that's why it's important to associate with devotees more advanced to ourselves. Because what is a more advanced devotee, really? It's someone more dear to Krishna than us. So if we want to be more dear to Krishna, we got to associate with them because that's who's dear to Krishna. They know how to do it. So this is actually, this is the way. So, but anything related to Krishna, his name, his form, his quality, and how do you do it? One, talk about these things. Tell somebody, you've all got people in your lives. I've now have an arrangement in my life where I invite people to come over just so we can talk about Krishna together. Prabhupada used to do that in his grahastha life too. But the etiquette in India was such a way that sannyasi's respect was the topmost thing, or a brahmachari even. So Prabhupada, what he would used to do, he was a grahastha, and he would take like a young brahmachari, and the brahmachari felt completely inferior to Srila Prabhupada, but because the culture was like that in India, if one is wearing orange robes, you sit and listen. So he would take this young brahmachari and he would put him up on the Vyasasana, and he'd host a big program, and he'd have food cooked and all these things. And he would just, he would tell the brahmachari, and the brahmachari is like, you're so much more advanced than me. Why would you have me speak? He's like, no. They want to hear from you. And he would put him up on there, and they would come and they would hear from him. And then what ended up happening is Prabhupada, the brahmachari would speak one or two things, and then Prabhupada would raise his hand. And then Prabhupada would just speak pretty much the whole class, and they would have to hear from Prabhupada. So just like this, we always should have some type of arrangement where we're talking of Krishna. We're hearing of Krishna. We're remembering. This is what causes us to remember Krishna. By always having situations where either we're talking of Krishna, we're chanting his names, we're hearing of Krishna, maybe on a lecture, maybe you're at work, you got to maintain yourself, something to do with Krishna. But by talking of Krishna, hearing of Krishna, and remembering Krishna, you're going to associate with Krishna, and guess what's guaranteed you eventually?
His mercy.
His mercy. But what will that form? You could say that's already his mercy.
Love of God.
Love of God, but then what do you do with the love of God?
Do more service.
Do more service to who?
The devotees.
Well, first the devotees, and then eventually
The man of Krishna.
you'll get association of Krishna. Eventually. I'll give you an example. I heard a really nice story, and then we have to end, because I'm sorry it's a little going over. I heard a nice story the other night. There was the theme of this story is that you have to, the whole goal of sadhana, by chanting japa, by doing this whole process that we're doing, archana, doing your service, is actually you're just trying to make your heart attractive to Krishna. Because actually you can't take Krishna. We are in the material world because we have the problem that we want to be the controllers and the enjoyers of things. But when you actually become spiritual and a little bit learned, you realize that you can't control and enjoy anything without Krishna's sanction. But guess what? You can't control and enjoy Krishna at your whim. Either he sanctions and he allows himself to be conquered by you, or you'll never achieve him.
Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord.
That's right. So what can you do? All we can do is make our heart attractive for Krishna to take it himself. That's all you can do. Anything else, you're like, oh, I'll chant like this, or I'll do it like this, or I'll do it like this, I'll achieve Krishna. No. All you can do is make your heart attractive that Krishna will come and take you himself. That's all you can do. That's all our sadhana is. So this really nice story. There was a new cowherd girl in Vrindavan. So she has a husband. But, naturally they all hear of Krishna's glories. Everything in Vrindavan is focusing around Krishna. So naturally the mother-in-laws and the sister-in-laws, they don't, because they have some family attachment, they don't like the wives of their brother and daughter to be seeing Krishna. Even though they want to go see Krishna, they don't want her to go see Krishna because they have affection for their brother. Like, oh, he'll steal the hearts of her too. Just like he's stolen our hearts. So the new girl, she comes in, they marry the brother, and sometimes they marry from other places. But this new girl is very excited because everyone's hearing of Krishna. When Krishna was performing his pastimes, his fame was spreading all over through Mathura, everywhere. Everyone is hearing about Krishna. So guess what? They're associating with Krishna. So actually, by good fortune, by associating with Krishna, she gets married into the same village of Krishna's, of Krishna. So now she's really eager, like, wow, I'm gonna actually be able to like see Krishna. I'm gonna be able to actually witness what everyone's been talking about, who everyone's been talking about. So it's that time of the morning where Krishna's going out with the cowherd boys, and he kind of parades through the town with all the cows and the cowherd boys, and it's like a festival for all of the people. Are you in Samadhi, Piyush?
I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay, no problem. So hopefully you're visualizing in your Samadhi. Krishna's traveling through the town. So anyway, so Krishna and the cowherd boys, they're all going out. Actually, maybe Michael, you can get like a little visualization of this. There's certainly a picture in this book about Krishna and the cowherd boys on tour. So they're all going out, and what would happen is all the women, even if they weren't allowed to, they would sneak a peek. They would try to at least sneak a peek and check out what everyone's seeing. Here we go. Here. So what they're doing just like this, and the new girl's in town, but her relatives are saying, no, you can't come, but she's like, you're all going, let me go with you, and she's like trying to form excuses about why she should come, and then they chastised her. You definitely can't come. And they were calling Krishna like a black snake, and he will bite you and poison you, and then you'll never be the same afterwards. So there's you cannot come. And so fine, she assents and realizes she's not going to make any leeway. But she's noticing when she goes out, she's like, well, they left, and maybe they'll notice if I come, but through this lattice window I can see, and no one can see in here. I can look at him. So Krishna's omniscient. He knows this new person. So they're going on out on the town, and Krishna has all the calves. So he grabs one of the calves' tails, and her heart, because she wanted Krishna so badly, her heart was very attractive to Krishna. She's like, oh, I want her heart. She wants me, now I want her. This is what Krishna is attracted to. He's not attracted to how many Ekadashis you can fast on. He's not attracted to how many rounds you're chanting. He's not attracted to how well you do all your services, how well you follow all the mantras. He's attracted to the what?
The devotion that you have.
And what's that called?
Bhakti.
He's attracted to the bhakti. He's not attracted to you followed all the rules, you did all this thing, or you did that. That's not what's so attractive. He may be attracted to that if it's done with bhakti, but that's what he wants. He wants your bhakti, your devotion. So lo and behold, he was very attracted to this girl's devotion. So he twisted a calf's tail, and then the calf went, and he ran off. And he went to her door and busted through her door, and Krishna chased the calf and grabbed him, but gave her that face-to-face contact. And I think, if I remember the story correctly, that there was actually a touch, like a pinky touch, just like a small touch, but she actually got to touch Krishna. And then she never became the same. After that, and actually her mother-in-law and sister-in-law couldn't chastise her because Krishna came to her. She followed their orders, but because her heart was so attractive to Krishna, Krishna had to come. And so this is all we can do, to do activities in such a way that we will become attractive to Krishna, and he will certainly come for us. But that's all we can do. We can't force our way in and I'll chant like this, or I'll chant with this speed, or I'll like this.
It's not mechanical.
It's not mechanical. It's completely with bhakti. That's the only thing that attracts Krishna. It's not rules. It's not scriptural injunctions. That's there to set a healthy balance in society and give people a healthy framework to approach Krishna. There needs to be that. But it's not that at all. It's your heart. It's your bhakti. How much do you want Krishna, and how much naturally will you not want anything else? It's not, I want Krishna because he's going to give me this. Is that not how we've been worshipping? I want Krishna because he's going to give me what I want? No, he's only attracted, when you want only him, that's what attracts Krishna, that's what makes one achieve Krishna. So no, lo and behold, after that, the cowherd girl, she's now like can't do any of her duties, and the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, they came back and they're like, oh no, he came right to us, like, and they're saying, they're trying to remedy the situation, and they're just like, hopefully you'll forget about him, just do your duties. So they give her a bunch of duties to do, and she was supposed to churn butter, but instead she starts churning mustard seeds and making like an awful sound. And they're like, oh my god, no, here, take care of babies, you know, ladies love babies. So they gave her a baby, and then and go get some well from the water. And so she goes over to the well, brings the baby, and next thing you know, instead of tying the bucket in and trying to get the well, she starts tying the baby up and is about to drop the baby into the well. And so they're all horrified, like, no. And then I forget, I don't know anything past there. But basically the moral of the story is she was conquered. She achieved Krishna, but now her material life was ruined. She couldn't do anything materially good anymore because she was so hyper. She actually had the touch of Krishna. So us too, we can only hope for the touch of Krishna. We can only hope that Krishna will be so captivated with Krishna that our material life won't matter one bit.
I think he meant like this.
Yeah, he might have tapped her.
Just, like, tapped
He
her.
might have tapped her on the nose.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't remember what it was. But there was a touch, a slight touch. But this is why, because her heart was, she really wanted to associate with Krishna. And if that's what you really want, you will not be, I see that one thing with Michael. Just watching Michael came last year. And even though when I first met him, he didn't know much about the, all the proper rules and etiquettes and things like this. But he really, really wanted Krishna. So naturally, over 1 year's time, Krishna facilitated all kinds of things in his life so that he can get closer to Krishna. And the same thing happened to myself, and the same thing's happening to you guys. So, this is the essence. And on what an auspicious day, Srivas Thakur's appearance day. The Lord should wholly and solely be your focus, and you'll have everything you need and more. I mean, the Lord himself, if you get that, there's nothing else to need. You don't have to worry about how am I going to be maintained? How am I going to get a job? How am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? It's not up to you. It never was up to you. You can put in some work, no problem. But just like Srivas Thakur, he abandoned every single duty. Every single duty. And he says, I'll just kill myself if the Lord doesn't provide for me after 3 days. But why? Because he wanted nothing else than to do bhajan to the Lord. Now we can't expect to be like that. I'm not telling you be like Piyush, stop applications, Brajesh, stop applications, Parth, stop going to work and just because we have to be ready for something like that. We have to build to something like that. It takes layers of surrender to go to a place like that. It's a process. But start the process. You can all give something a little bit more to the Lord. You can all, maybe give 3 days a week, right, Brajesh? Yes, 3 days a week to hearing about the Lord. Or taking a little extra time for your reading practice or your service or whatever it is. We can all do a little bit more for the Lord. So what will you do? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All right. You can